All right, so I got a carrier unit here, heat pump. Got the 15 kW heat strips installed. Got them hooked up for emergency heat. See if we can test them, make sure it's working. The only way to test them is with an amp clamp. Go ahead. Give it a shot here, see what we got. All right, so I hear the fan coming on. There we go. Show the relay quick. Man. All right, so we got about 19 amps. So that one there is working. That's a 5,000 right there. Let's check another one. Make sure all three are working. Alright, so we got 18 amps, about 19 amps. Let's check the other one, check the last one. Alright. Got to do this check before the freezing cold comes. Make sure everything's working in case the heat pump stops working. At least you can turn on the emergency heat and still have heat. I mean, I don't know if this, I watched a lot of videos. I don't know if there's any other way of testing these. I mean, technically you can stick a meter in there and check the voltage. But, yeah, I think the best way to go is with an amp clamp. I think I paid $100 for this at Home Depot, something like that. This does AC and DC amperage. Got two 6.2s coming in. Powered in heat strips. It's got a double breaker, double 60. And down in the main panel, there's a double 60. There's the unit. Feels hot. So I'm happy with that. So I have this connected as emergency heat. The problem I ran into, I had another thermostat like this, but we had to remove it and get a new one because this one actually has the E terminal for emergency heat. I'll show you. So I just ran the brown to the E. Won't focus, but there's the E right there. You do not want this at W. If you put the emergency heat strips on W, they'll run wild. They'll just keep running and running. You'll get 100 degrees. It'll just keep running and running and running, blowing up your electric bill. So I was nervous about that because I had it hooked up that way at first. So I was a little nervous today, but we just did a test. You know, my customer keeps it at 73, which it is right now. So I just put it up to 74. It took a few minutes to get up, you know, using the heat strips. Didn't take very long, a couple of minutes or so. It went up to 74 and it actually shut off, which is great. So you got to make sure with thermostat it has the spot for E for emergency heat if you want to hook it up this way. There's another way to hook it up for auxiliary heat. And then if the condenser freezes up, the electric will kick on. But, you know, we just want it for emergency heat to keep the electric bill down. So I just want to show you that little tip on the thermostat. Make sure it has the E terminal for the emergency heat, because W is not going to work. So So I'm going to try to use it on the Blazer too to help me track down some electrical issues. So I just showed you on AC, and you see it says AC. Let's switch it over to DC. I gotta hit the select button. There we go. Now it's DC amps. I want to see what the Blazer's drawing. .6 amps. Let's turn some stuff on.
Be able to deliver effective strategic solutions.
Actually, everything's on. Roller motor's on. Let me go to the main positive. That was the negative. There we go. 40.9 amps. 41. You know, most cars just have a positive and a negative, but I had to run all kinds of wires trying to fix issues I'm having. I bought these terminals, which allow you to do that. I still have more spaces I can use. Got one left on the ground on the negative. So, you know, most cars, the grounding goes through the metal body. And being that this car was in an accident, I talked about it in other videos. It was in a major accident, reconstruct the title, and there's the fan ticking again. You know, all the metal got warped and loosened. It's probably got corrosion in there, so I already ran one of these negatives down to the frame. Now I think I need to put one on the other side, because it's funny. Everything on the left is working, but some of the features on the right are not working. And I know there's a lot of grounds on these Trailblazers. So that's probably my next step. I'm going to have to fill this hole with another ground and get it to the other frame rail. I mean, you would think it would all be connected, but unfortunately not on this, ever since that accident. So I'm hoping that helps me.